The old timers, they could only go after what was on surface, dig a trench or make a tunnel. I mean, moose was discovered in the 20s, and it looks like, the possibility of that having that similar plunge may exist as well. So we'll be following up on both the moose and the chance now.
Why is it a significant thing for Dolly Varden that you guys hit these high-grade intercepts?
We wanted to get these holes out. They're the first results we have back from our 2024 season on the exploration side of things. And they're significant because they're targeting an area that has very little work on it. There's historic work, which is where we drilled below that, and that's where we intercepted these very high-grade intervals within a wider vein interval of 5 meters. It's significant because it's a step out from a hole we drilled last year, and based on a concept that we'd learned at Wolf, where the mineralization isn't necessarily horizontal, it has a plunge to it. We took the same geometry that we had found at Wolf and applied it to Moose, and then we got this hit. So it's kind of a proof of concept. And the significance about Moose is that it's sort of the next vein up on our silver deposit. So we're noticing that these cross-cutting veins are spaced kind of at a regular interval between about 1.2, 1.5 kilometers. So we have the Dolly Varden vein, and then a kilometer and a half later we have Kitsall vein, a kilometer and a half later the Wolf vein. Moose is the next interval, and so to see that sort of result coming from a hole that was drilled on a geological model is great. And the exciting thing is that this is just the beginning, because that actually plunges and trends underneath our sedimentary cap, similar to what Wolf did. So there's a big section there that we can't see. There's no mineralization that comes to surface. And then the second part of the release, which is also exciting, is that at the next step, another kilometer, 0.3 later, is the Chance vein. We had done some drilling in there around 2019, but that was before we knew this concept of plunges. So we took some high-grade results from that drilling and applied that new geometry to it, and it looks like, the possibility of that having that similar plunge may exist as well. So we'll be following up on both the Moose and the Chance now.
Fantastic. So you're starting to see a trend in both the distances in between the clumps of silver, and you're starting to see a pattern in where the silver sits and the angle at which you can drill it at.
The old timers, they could only go after what was on surface, and they'd find a piece of vein or a vein outcrop, and they dig a trench or make a tunnel. I mean, Moose was discovered in the 20s. There is a tunnel in there, but at a high level. These systems have high-grade silver mineralization, but at a certain angle. And so if they could only follow it horizontally and close to surface, and they might get one good result within that tunnel, but instead of going horizontally from it, we're now following that plunge direction with these results. It's sort of a proof of concept that we then can apply to the next set of veins up the valley.